the Black Feather Intuitive. Welcome to Demystify the Divine, weekly readings and tools to connect. Hoping you guys are all doing well. It's been a really hot day today, and I got to tell you, it's those days where you're not really super busy, but you're like your time is taken up with, I like to call it like the back end stuff, like especially with the business, there's all the little things, the little details that you need to catch up on, and things, tasks that you think are going to take 5 minutes that take an hour. That's kind of been my day. And so I'm just noticing right now that even though I haven't really been like overly busy and like fully tuning in to like a million clients like I normally am today, I'm tired. I see my eyes, like I have to like pop open my eyes because I'm like, I think I'm ready for a nap. And the heat doesn't help. It was like, I don't know, 95 today, and it was so hot that even I went inside and did a lot of things from the air conditioned first world problems, right? So anyway, hoping that everyone is doing well. I know the energies have been pretty wonky. I know a lot of people have just been kind of struggling. A lot of things going south, going sideways. A lot of, we are in we're in Cancer season. So a lot of, high emotions or emotions that are surprising to us, emotions taking us by surprise. So, if you're resonating with that at all, don't panic. You're not alone. Part of it is sort of just where we're at collectively with the energies. And part of it also, I feel, is that people are just kind of, Keone and I were talking about it, and he just said this phrase, so that's why it's in my head, but people are just over it. Well, what are we over? We're over this idea that everything has to be picture perfect. We're over the idea that we have to work for things in our lives. We're over the idea of having to, I want to say, sort of stretch ourselves. I think we're really in a kind of a space and a place right now where people are just wanting a whole lot of ease, and I'm right there with you. So what I'm feeling around that, tapping into our guides, is we have to create the ease for ourselves. It's not something that's going to be coming in, I want to say, like gangbusters. It's not something that's going to flow right now. We're still in the soup, and we're still in the soup that is, boiling. Like it's boiling. It's not even a rolling boil. It's boiling. And that out of the frying pan into the fire kind of thing is the energy of where we're at. It's not about moving and shaking and jumping out of here in order to get into there. It's more about just recognizing that this is the energy that we're in. So find the ease, create the peace within yourself. I know, easier said than done at times, but I want to say, do some visualization work. This has been coming up for me like crazy this week. Focusing on what I want and understanding that from a manifesting perspective, I can't keep re-manifesting the same visualization over and over and over again. I got to choose a different visualization every day, knowing that I've already visualized and created the initial thing. So then it's trusting that that's coming, and then being in that space of living it, having it's like you're creating future memory. I'm creating a future memory of what it feels like to have this future vision in my life. Someone reached out, actually I think it might have been Sue, reached out just about like what the F is going on, and how are we supposed to sort of navigate all of this. And there's no good answer right now. There's no answer to and I tap into my guides all the time, and I'm like, okay, like when is this going to end? Like, can you give me something? Like, just throw me a freaking bone, right? And they just keep saying, we need to go through this. We need to go through this time. It's, I use the analogy of you can go up the steps and you can take the steps 3 stairs at a time. You get up to the top a lot faster. But what are you missing on those other steps that you didn't explore? And that's what it is. Right now, we are in a foundational building time. And if we don't, pour the right cement, if we don't take the time to make sure that the structure and the foundation is sturdy, whatever it is that we build out 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years from now will not be sustainable. We will not be able to support it. So all of this chaos, all of this entropy that we are in, it is serving a greater purpose. And what do we need to do in order to, I want to say, really survive and thrive? We have to make the choice. We have to choose happy. We have to choose ease. We have to choose to stay in the vision that is our future and not remain stuck in the past, or I want to say in the present. And I don't mean don't be present, because what do we talk about all the time? Our guides are always telling us be present, stay in the moment, because if we're too much in the future, we're in our heads, we're not here, and we're missing the now. And if we're too much in the past, we're not here in the now. It's kind of the fine line. It's like, okay, I'm present with what's happening and what's occurring right now. I'm aware. And I also have my big toe in the future vision, because I need to be in that energy and that frequency in order to be able to draw it to me. Think of yourselves like magnets. I may have talked about this in the last, oh yeah, thank you, Heather, for saying that, because, so many people have been struggling. And, I wish that I could, sort of wave my magic wand and make it all go away. But that's not right either. Think of it in this way. If you have, aw, hi, Stormy. Thank you. That's so sweet. You want to think about it in this way. Oh, I just lost my train of thought now. It's gone. Hopefully it'll come back. But we're all just sort of in this, sort of the muck and the mire of it all. And we're all wanting to be out of it. But if we skip those steps, we're not actually doing our job. We're not actually doing what we're here to do. And now I'm speaking in terms of light workers, starseeds, energy healers, whatever you identify with, if you identify with any of it, seekers, starseeds and empaths, and, people who just see that there's something different out there aside from what, our two eyes are looking at. Don't lose hope, because we are it's going to sound a little bit grandiose, but we are the hope for humanity. And I don't say that to be dramatic. I say that because sit with that. We are the hope of humanity. Why are we the hope of humanity? Because we are a bit unique. We see the world differently than the other 99% of the population. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It just is. And if you're connecting with shows like this, and you're connected to the energy and you're feeling everything that's going on, there's a reason for it, because you are the hope for humanity. And that doesn't mean we have to, dive in whole hog. It doesn't mean we have to give up our dreams, goals, and desires. It doesn't even mean that we have to pretend Pollyanna and pretend like everything is sunshine and daisies, wine and roses, when it's not. But it does mean that we need to be very authentic with what we're experiencing. And we need to be authentic with our visions, and hanging in to that frequency and that flow of that vision, because the rest of humanity doesn't have that vision. They may have a hope, they may have an inkling of something, but they don't really have the connection to the vision. That's the purpose that we're serving. That's what we're here for, because we do see it. And yeah, sometimes the person that sees it bears the, I want to say, the weight, bears the burden of the experience. And our spiritual selves are probably laughing their asses off at me right now because they're going, "Oh yeah, haha, burden." But if you saw it from our perspective, what a privilege, what an honor, what a treat to be a part of, to say I was there when, or I was at the beginning, or I was a founding member of, this new earth energy. So all of this to say, don't ignore and negate what you're feeling, but don't get too stuck in it either. So many people right now are stuck, or they're numb. I mean, numb can be a form of stuck as well. But a lot of the people in the world right now that you're experiencing, that you're interacting with, they're numb. And the reason why you're not numb is because you feel more and you see more, and you can you have a larger capacity for it. Doesn't mean you can't go numb. I mean, we've all been there as well. But I want to say, because you have that awareness, you also now have different choices. All right, that's my soapbox for today. I'm going to pull a quick card. I thought I was going to have to, do a card reading, but I'm going to pull a quick card just because I'm in a card phase again. Not that I'm never in a card phase, but sometimes I'm like all into cards, and sometimes I'm like, the card is the last thing I want to pull right now. Like, I'm not interested in cards, schmards. That's not today. All right, what did we pull? Oh, Seven of Cups, choice, and dreams and illusions. So it's very fitting, given what I was just sort of talking about. We have the choice because we do have the ability to see beyond the illusion. We also see that there are a number of different options in front of us, and we get to choose. And yeah, big responsibility that in many ways we're kind of choosing for humanity. We're not choosing humanity's path. That path is already sort of, in the mix, but we are building the foundation so that when humanity becomes aware of its choices, it can hit the ground running. I think I like that. I think that's something that I can hang on to. I think that's something I can sink my teeth into when, when the tough get going, when I'm feeling sorry for myself, or when I'm feeling completely overwhelmed by everything and going, I don't know how I can fix any of this. I think hanging on to that will help a little bit. Hopefully it'll help a little bit with you guys too. So Seven of Cups, lean into this energy, understanding that it is a gift that you see the illusion. You understand the difference between the dream and the illusion, and that you have choices. There are a lot of humans out there, as we know, that live very unaware of their own choices and how their own choices affect them, unaware of their ability, their sovereignty to co-create their lives. So we're the lucky ones, if we want to look at it from that perspective. We're the lucky ones, and we have the burden, but we also have the responsibility to pave the way and show them what they too can open themselves to. All right, Keone, what time is it?
I don't know anymore. To be honest, I have no idea. I don't know if it's full card time, phrase time, take another shot time. I never know anymore. So I know it's time to bring Indu on. We can do that.
Yeah. Let's do some readings, not card readings. Let's just do some readings.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Hi, Keone.
I'm doing great. You look so white and divine. There's just whiteness all around you. There's white in your background. You're wearing white. Your chair is white. You're glowing white. It's awesome.
Let there be white.
Indu, you remember way back a year ago when this show used to make sense? You remember that?
Which one? Come again?
I'm just kidding. I'm going to get out of the way.
He's just yanking the chain. So into what's going on in your world. What's happening? Do you want to do a card pull? Do you want me to do just a regular tune in? Do you have a question?
Just a regular tune in, please. Let's see how the rest of the month unfolds.
Okay. Oh, I want to just like breathe a sigh of relief. I feel like your guides are wanting you to breathe more. You're not breathing enough. You're not sighing enough. So what happens to us when we sigh? It's a release in the body. It's a release of tension. It reminds us of all of the functionality in our body that we don't always have to think about, but that keep us kind of awake and alive and moving on our path and going and growing. I feel like you want to sigh more, and audible sighing, and not like you're not sighing because, oh, woe is me. You're sighing because it's releasing from the body. There's a bunch of stuff that you need to release from your body. I know I've gotten this message for you before, but this is what's coming through again. Be at peace with your choices. So, a lot of what I feel is sort of in the mix for you this month is I do feel there's a little bit of like work life balance, which is nice because I feel like you haven't had that for a while. But I'm seeing that even with the work life balance, you're still feeling a bit out of balance. And they're basically saying you need to really connect with the breath and release. It's about reconnecting to the body. um there are some things that are coming up this month that I want to say are you need to celebrate more, like celebratory in nature. There's an energy of celebrate for the sake of celebrating. You don't necessarily have to have a specific event or a reason. Your guides are just, I want to say your guides are just talking about how you need to get out of your head and get into the body, not even into the heart space. We're not talking heart and soul space. We're talking about reintegrating with the body because there's been so much activity. It's like you've not been in the body. And I don't mean like a fun, floaty, free, out of body experience. I mean you've been in stress, and like I'm picturing the Osho Zen deck has a card. I think the keyword is confusion, but you see this person's brain is wide open and there's like smokestacks and chimney stuff and like weird like robot parts, and like it's just because there's so much going on in there. And I feel like for you need a little more clarity, but in order to get clarity you have to have a little fun. So find things to celebrate. Are you traveling to see your grandbabies?
Yes, we are.
Awesome. That's what needs to happen. You need to not be in your daily routine. You need to not be in your head. So I know that's kind of hard to do, right? You and I are both pretty much overthinkers. So that is a challenge for us. But I want to say to you, like, even if you're on the plane, read a book, and read a book that's escapism. Read a book that gets you into the story, even if it's like guilty pleasure stuff. Who cares? Read something that you can get lost in that story, because that means you're not lost in your own thoughts. You're on overdrive right now. So you need like a month off just to
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
into like back into your body.
I
So
do.
I know that wasn't really a message that you were kind of hoping for. You were looking for more predictive stuff, but I'm feeling
No,
like
no, no. This is good advice. I mean, you are spot on.
they are really wanting you to be more connected to the body.
Okay.
So anything you can do to connect to the body, to be, we talked about presence, being present in the body. So it goes beyond grounding for you, girl. It goes beyond putting your toes in the grass and sitting under the tree and hugging the tree and talking to the squirrels. All of that is great, but it needs to be deeper. It needs to be more intentional. And
Mhm.
it needs to be, I will not be in my head. No matter what else I'm going to be, I'm not going to be in my head. I'm going to really connect to the body. So, I hope
Thank
that helps.
you.
And you're going to have a great time you always have a great time with your grandkids. Something's coming up with your granddaughter. She's not pleased about something. No surprise there, but she's pleased about something. But I feel like she's going to have a unique solution
Mhm.
to what she's not happy with. And
Mhm.
I see her enlisting a group, like the whole family. It's like she enlists the whole family. She gives each family a role. She gives each family a part. But what I find really fascinating about it is, even though she's a little kid, there's a lot of wisdom in what she's
Oh yeah.
asking everyone to do. But it goes beyond even what you already know she's capable of. So I want to say mind blown is what I'm getting. So don't be surprised if you have a moment where something comes up and she comes up with the perfect solution that no one else would ever think about, and she's got it going on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All I know is I'm going to get to eat some chocolate cake because that's what she's decided. Doesn't
perfect.
matter what anybody else likes. She will think that no, I think you like chocolate cake.
Oh, and you're like, okay, I guess I like chocolate today.
Yes. So yeah, this grandma's going to have a slice of chocolate cake.
Oh my goodness. Well, you go and you enjoy and just be out of your head. Be out of your mind. That's a good
Will
thing this time. Be out of your mind.
will do. Thank you, Stacy.
You
Thanks,
are so welcome.
Keone. And here's the hand.
I couldn't press the button properly. Sorry. Goodbye.
Hi, hand. Hi, Raigu.
Bye.
Oh, Mr. Neo is making his presence known. Hi, Fuzzy.
Ragu asked the question earlier when you're talking. He said, "When is this going to end?" Ragu, the answer is before 9 p.m. today. All right, so we're going to go.
So he meant, when is all of the chaos going to end? And you're
Yeah,
like, yeah, before 9 p.m. today.
before
I
9
think
p.m.
that's
today.
great.
I think that is amazing. Let's go ahead and see who we're going to accommodate today. And we've got Lori. So whatever you feel like pulling a card for Lori or giving her some guidance.
Lori, I am being told very clearly that you get a card pull today. Heather, also, I just saw your question. I don't know if Keone, does that star mean that she's up for a reading?
No, that star means if her name comes up, it lets me go so I don't have to go and find it. I can just go and find her question easy.
Oh, okay. Because I have to read for her too. There's something I'm being told I have to read for her
Okay.
too.
Well, we always go with what you feel.
So interestingly enough, Lori, I pulled for you the Seven of Cups, which is the card that we had in sort of that collective reading. But here's what I'm getting for you. I'm feeling very strongly that you've been getting caught up in the minutia of the day to day, the details, the I got to get this done and I got to get that done and I got to get the other thing done. And it's not like you're, I want to say, overwhelmed or particularly driven. It's more like you've just sort of forgotten how to play. And so this card I feel is coming up for you because the universe is saying you need to make your choices. Like there are all of these opportunities in front of you, but you're so focused on the detail of laying the cups out that you're missing the whole point of, I could drink from this cup. What's in this cup could be mine. I don't always have to be I want to say, the responsible one. I don't always have to be the one that lays the cups out for everybody else. I can partake. These cups are here for me too. So there's a message here about putting yourself first. There's also a message about not looking with the fuzzy eye. I always think of those oh my God, what were they called? Not crazy eyes, where the picture where it looked like nothing, but then if you just sort of do a soft gaze, all of a sudden the picture reveals itself. Um, that's what I'm seeing, is it's like you're looking with a soft gaze, but you no longer need to look with a soft gaze because what you've manifested is here. Like, it's in the physical, and you're looking at the structure of it and trying to prepare it for everybody else rather than taking it on for yourself, or taking pleasure in it, or making the choice to partake in one of the cups. So looking at all these beautiful cups, of course, I'm always drawn to the purple one because I'm drawn to purple. But when I'm looking at for you, I'm also drawn to the center cup. And I'm drawn to the center cup simply because when you're looking at the center cup, you also can partake of all of the other cups. Whereas if your eye is drawn to, oh, sorry, I'm pointing to the screen as though you can see the screen. If you're drawn to this, now suddenly my focus and my vision isn't on all of the cup. It's just on this cup and the cup that's next to it. If I, bring my eyes up here, now I'm focusing on these two, and maybe I'm seeing this one a little bit over here. I'm not paying attention to all of them. So I feel like your guides are also saying, go right to the heart of the matter. What is the heart of the matter for you? What's the thing that you want to do the most right now? Find a way to do it. Step in and do it. I'm also hearing for you, there's something coming up around work this week in particular, like within the next 7 days. Feels like tripping things up. Somebody is tripping things up. Somebody is, my father has that saying, he's peeing in my cornflakes and trying to tell me it's milk. I feel like that's kind of the energy. Somebody at work is shifting things up in a shifty way and trying to tell you that that's not what's happening, or that's not what they're doing. Maybe a little gaslighting going on. But I see that you see beyond the illusion. They're the ones that are disillusioned into thinking that you're going to buy their BS. So what I hear whenever this comes up for you, and how you sort of navigate it, I'm hearing that you do it with a smile. You don't necessarily call them out specifically on what they're doing. You just kind of like smile and nod like, oh yeah, okay. And you go a different direction, or you just don't do what it is that they're telling you to do. And they're going to come back and they're going to be like, why did blah, blah, blah. And you're going to be like, because you and I both know that wasn't going anywhere. You and I both know that was a nothing burger. You're calling them out without having to call them out, and they're going to lick their wounds, but they're not going to go into attack mode. And I feel like that's why you need to be a little bit, not diplomatic, but you need to be strategic about how you're addressing the issue. Calling them out right off the hop, I feel like sets this person on edge, and then they're on the defensive, and they're seeking to take you down, to attack you, or to undermine you. This way, they don't know that you're not doing what they think you're going to do until after it's not done. And you just kind of say it like it is, and no harm, no foul. They're not publicly humiliated. Nobody needs to know, but they had their clock cleaned, basically. And you are no worse for the wear. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense to you. But overall, your message really is, go for the heart of the matter. Stop looking at the structure and laying out all the goodies for everybody else to take advantage of. This is now your time to take advantage of it. All right, Keone, spin that wheel.
Oh, I feel like I'm on a game show. Now you're getting into it. I'm not going to be Vanna White.
Okay.
Yeah, where is it stopping? Oh, Anne. All right, let's get a guided message for Anne. Anne's been weary about her personal relationships.
Okay, I'm going to just tune in for you, Anne, since you have a specific question. Stop being in the driver's seat. I feel like there are two particular relationships that I feel like there are more than two that you've got some issues with, but there are two in particular that are really on your mind a lot. And I want to say, with one of them, it's not your circus, not your monkeys. Like you're trying to fix or address or find resolve with somebody that right now just doesn't want to be fixed or have resolve. I feel like this person they're getting something out of the discord. And that doesn't mean that you need to engage in that, because you're not getting something out of the discord that is pleasant for you. You're not wanting to continue it. We only have control over ourselves and our own choices. So I want to say to you, let yourself off the hook. Give yourself permission to say, all right, not my circus, not my monkeys. It's not my thing to fix. So I've said my piece. I've done what I needed to say. And now I'm sort of releasing it, right? Like I'm throwing my hands up and just sort of backing away. I do feel that there will be a resolve, but the resolve is going to come with that particular relationship when you're not seeking it out. It's almost like that person, one of the things that that person is getting is the thrill of the upper hand. You know, there's a control dynamic there. And I want to say to you, I don't necessarily feel that this person is fully conscious of that control dynamic that they're creating, but it's there. And that's part of the reason why you're feeling like, why isn't there a resolve to this? Like, I'm pulling out all the stops. Yeah, you're pulling out all the stops. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's because the other person is choosing not to change, to shift, to engage. The other situation that I'm seeing for you is, I want to say, like I keep seeing you driving, right? Like you're driving it. That's part of the issue is there's something that you want that they're not ready for. So you might be ready for it, but they're not. And you driving or really trying to, continuing to put a whole lot of energy or effort or investment into it, I feel is actually pushing them further away from you. And I don't want to say where they were the problem, now you're the problem. I feel like problem isn't the right word. There's a situation and it's just trying to find the right solution for that situation. But I feel like the approach that you're taking is part of the problem, not the solution, if that makes sense. So, not trying to rain on your parade, and I'm not saying you're in the wrong or you're doing things badly. It's just, okay, this isn't working and there's something that I want that clearly doesn't want me right now. So I'm going to just sort of take a different tact. I'm going to take a different approach. And that approach is I'm going to be present. I'm going to be available, but I'm not driving the bus. I'm not steering this ship. If you come to me about something, I'm present and we'll do whatever, we'll work through it, but I'm not going to chase. I'm not going to hunt you down. I'm not doing that. So similar message with both of the dynamics, but a completely different approach to, or I want to say a different why to the approach. Both messages say pull back a little bit, but one is you need to pull back because they're involved in a game. The other one says they're just not ready for what you have to offer or what you want. They're not there yet. So don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. And part of the solution is I'll be present with what you present. And that's what I'm going to go on. But I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to initiate. I also feel like I'm getting a lot of green around you. So I feel like this is a particular, some of our lessons are about other people and, we go through it and we don't think twice about it and off we go. And then there are other lessons that are like, okay, there's a reason why this is happening. And I feel like there's growth that is occurring through this chunk of time in your life where you're having issues with personal relationships. And PS and FYI, you are not alone with that. It's a collective thing right now. Relationships are being hit hard, or I want to say the brightest spotlight you could imagine is being shone on relationships, interpersonal relationships at this time, because we can't progress forward if we're stuck in enabling or dysfunctional dynamics and relationships. And so, if you're wondering what's the why, like what is the reason why this is all happening, at the core of it, that's why. And you want to move forward, and you want to move forward with people who can match your frequency. So in order for people to match your frequency, they have to see what their frequency is, and then make the choice from there, whether they choose to shift it, elevate it, or to adjust it, or maybe it's you do you and I'll do me. I don't feel like these two particular relationships that I was highlighting today for you. I don't necessarily see a complete split with them, but I feel like there's definitely moving forward. You're going to be doing things differently. You're going to be approaching that relationship differently. So you don't have to kick them to the curb, but you're kicking the way that things have been up to this point to the curb. You're making some shifts to the way that the two of you interact with one another moving forward. So I hope that helps. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of energy, where that's concerned, for sure. Oh, the card makes a lot of sense. Good, 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 good. Awesome. Thank you for that.
Do you want to, you felt Heather needed to get that message. It kind of came to you. You want to get into that now?
Yeah, I definitely felt like I needed to tap into that. Okay, so what was her? Okay, perfect. Can I just maybe have something to look forward to? It doesn't have to be grand, been going through a rough time. Yeah. So, gosh, girl, I feel you. I feel you. It's get sandwiched for a lot of people lately. So I'm also hearing that one of the reasons why I'm drawn to your card is because I feel like there are a lot of people who would have probably asked the same question. So this is going to be a reading for you, and it's also going to be a reading for a lot of other people. Okay, this is significant. So we've had the Seven of Cups twice tonight, once for collective and once for Lori, and now we've got a Seven of Pentacles for you, Heather. So Seven of Pentacles, I'm going to talk about seven in a second, but Seven of Pentacles, it's a card of reaping rewards. What's the opposite of reaping a reward? Putting a whole fark of a lot of energy and attention into something and it not turning out or not working out for, a number of different reasons. Trying too hard, working too hard, expectation over acceptance of what I'm hearing for you, that is going to be the best mantra for you in the coming couple of weeks. Now, I know you've asked for, you're asking for something good, and I'm going to totally tap into that for you to give you something like a vision to sort of step into and feel into. But the message that I'm getting really is about understanding that some of what's transpiring here is because your expectations aren't being met on some pretty fundamental levels. And I'm not saying it's your fault that that's happening. Hell no. What it feels like is you're kind of overlooking that factor. I want to say there's a theme and a thread with a lot of these things, is that we're being called right now in this time to pay attention to the heart of the matter. We're getting caught up in the minutia of things. We're getting caught up in other people's storms, and we're not really getting to the heart of the matter. So what I'm drawn to, ironically for you as well, is the green ball. There's a beautiful blue ball here too that we could look at. Oh, blue balls. I'm surprised you didn't call me out on that, Keone. So we've got a green ball or a green sphere here. And I feel like for you, because it's in this like test tube kind of thing, it's like chemistry. It's understanding I need to bring more of my heart energy into this situation, not because I want my heart to heal it or fix it, but because I want my heart to say, screw all of this stuff. This is not the way that I want things to be. And so right now in this moment, I command and demand my heart get involved in shifting things up, bringing a little more joy, bringing a little more laughter into this situation, bringing a little more FU to the situation, so that I want to say, like, you get your moxie going, you get a little sass. You need a little sass, because I feel like that's what's missing. When we have a little sass, we feel a little better about ourselves, and we kind of don't care. And it shifts. I feel like it's going to shift you into a more of an aligned space where you go, okay, what really matters and what really doesn't at this point. And what really matters right now is my own happiness, and all this other nonsense and shenaniganery. I'm sure there's some great movie character that would say this, but basically someone who says, I choose not to accept that reality. That's not for me. I don't care what you're giving me or what you're telling me. I'm telling you. It's kind of like kings and queens. Like, you're telling me that there are no grapes. I don't believe you. And I'm not going to accept that as an answer. So I don't care what you have to do. If you have to draw me some grapes, if you have to, cook something up that looks like grapes and tell me that it's grapes, I don't care what you have to do, but I want grapes. And that's what I will have. I feel almost like that energy for you is like you just need to step into the, I don't care what you're telling me. It's not what I want. So I'm not accepting it. I'm not accepting it. So here's something fun that you have to look forward to. And then I'll talk about the 7. So what you have to look forward to, I want to say, this next 2-week window of time, I see a lot of switcheroos. So all of the heaviness, all of the rough, what I keep seeing is like these little miracles, these little surprise things that come out of the blue that catch you off guard, that are like, oh my God, like I've been working so hard and all of a sudden now that's what's showing up. Okay, I'd completely forgotten about it. I wrote it off as never being a possibility. I kind of forgot about it. All of a sudden it's here, and it's a beautiful opportunity to be in pleasure and enjoy in that moment. I see 2 kind of really significant experiences with that, where I want to say not only significant experiences or like it's obvious to you, but I also want to say it feels like big shifts as well, like something that turns the tide, makes a really big difference. It's not just a little miracle, it's a, oh my God, okay, this is a game changer. What do I want to do with this? How do I want to apply this? Or how do I want to make this work for me? So you're not winning the lottery, but I want to say to you, there's something that you've wanted for a long time, that you've already done a lot of the legwork with it, and you've just kind of written it off. And all of a sudden, there's something that's just going to show up. And I want to say it's going to be easy. There's like, when it shows up, it's kind of like it's a gift. You don't have to work hard for it. You've already done all of that stuff. So don't dismiss it because you think it's too good to be true. Embrace it. There are going to be a couple of other situations that pop up. I want to say they're going to be smaller in nature. It's almost like, when you get a sign and you get excited about the sign, because the sign itself is really freaking cool. Like, I always use the analogy of, asking for the, I want to see a blue bird with pink polka dots. And, how often do you see a blue bird with pink polka dots? Period. End of story. Ever. But certainly not, in the area. And then all of a sudden you see a pink bird with blue polka dots. And you're like, oh my God, like I can't dismiss that. Like, that's really cool. Like, it's cool that you came through, and it's really extra cool that you came through in a way that is almost impossible. So I know that there's meaning behind this. I know. And it's like the sign itself gives you the hope, gives you the pep in your step. So I do feel that there's going to be a lot of that over the next 2 weeks. Also, whatever is going on at work, I see there being the wheels turning. You're going to get a breakthrough with that as well. It's going to be a smaller breakthrough, but it's the smaller breakthrough that creates the tunnel that ends up making the bigger breakthrough, right? So if we think about the dam bursting, the dam doesn't burst before there's a crack in the dam first, and there's a little bit of water that leaks out. I feel like that's kind of what's going to happen at work, is there's going to be a little crack in the armor. You're going to see some movement, and then, okay, here we go. And there's going to be a lot of relief for you when that transpires, because now you're going to say, okay, now I can go ahead. Now I can do what you're asking me to do. Now I've got the tools, I've got the resources, I've got the vision of what's transpiring. So 7s, people, 7s, it's the number of divinity. It is the year of 2023. And we are now officially past the halfway mark in 2023. So when 7s come up, it's very much reminding you of what 7 means. And 7 means you have the opportunity to tweak what it is you're co-creating before you put it out into the world. So when you're seeing a lot of 7s, it means pay attention to what you are thinking about, what you are manifesting, because it's all going to come true. And it's going to come true whether it's exactly the way you want it to or not. So it's the universe giving you a gift and saying, pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention, because we're giving it to you. It's coming to you, and it's coming to you quicker than you can imagine. So right now, this is your last chance to make any tweaks that you need to make. That's why 7s are important. And that's what 2023 is all about as well. We're seeing all the chaos and the drama and the nonsense and shenaniganery so that we can say moving forward, no more. No more of this in 2024. No more of that in 2024. No more of this and that and the other thing in our future. It's time for us to tweak the vision. And there you have it, folks. We have just come full circle. God, I love what I do. I love receiving this stuff, having no freaking idea of what's going to come through at any given moment. And we just came full circle. You know, I got to tell you guys, there are moments that I have in my life where I still, even after doing this professionally for 10 years, still have moments of self-doubt. I don't think I'm psychic. I think I'm making this shit up. What is anybody even paying attention to me for? And it's moments like this when it comes full circle that I'm like, I could not have pulled that out of my butt if I tried. My brain just doesn't think that way. I'm creative, but I'm not that creative. So I hope you all see the irony, the synchronicity, the magic from beginning to end, and how the universe, how our guides are constantly trying to support us by communicating with us in all sorts of ways. And they reinforce those messages through the numbers, the angel numbers, symbols, colors, similar messages over and over again. Yeah, it's pretty freaking magical. So,
that's it.
Yeah, that's it for tonight. I went a little overboard, so apologize for the extra time. It was such a pleasure to connect with you guys. I just want to tell you, like, subscribe, click the bell. YouTube has done a whole bunch of different things with their algorithms. I don't know if any of you guys know, I do YouTube shorts just about every day. They're really to empower you, to give you some food for thought for your day. Please feel free to like and subscribe and follow those, because they're there for you. It's an energy sharing. It's an energy offering. I'm in the process. I'm in the last stages. I've got like 1/10 left of my new membership, Tarot Intuitively, and then it's going to be live. And so I know a lot of you guys who follow me and a lot of clients, you're always like, oh, when are you going to release your, you're always doing tarot. When are you going to teach a course? When are you going to do a course? Well, the course is a membership. And it's just gonna be amazing. There's a Page of Swords Society where you get to commune with people of like mind, all the other tarot enthusiasts, and it's fun. It's Page of Swords Society. It sounds like something from Harry Potter, right? I just downloaded it. The fun part is we're doing a 3 of Cups gathering. It's wine and tarot every month with our theme of the month card. I'm going to be pairing a bottle of wine, a type of wine, with that card, and we're going to get to know that card through wine. And if you're not a wineette like me, bring a beverage of choice. It's not going to be all about the wine. It's actually really all about the tarot. It's an opportunity for you to ask me questions. It's a Q&A. It's an opportunity to connect with other individuals. So it's going to be really fun. I'm super pumped about it. Like, I can't even believe, because I actually created this course like 7 years ago, thinking it was going to be a course, and it just started coming through today, or not today, in the last few months, and it's a membership. You're going to meet your monthly house guest. You're going to invite your neighbors to a house party, all the card neighbors to a house party. There are going to be exercises and just so many fun tools and resources to support you in not having to memorize tarot. Because let's face it, that's what stops a lot of us from learning tarot, is the freaking memory work. I mean, there's 78 cards in a deck, and there's like 15 different keywords associated with each of those cards. And then if you read them reversed, double that. People get all like, and they give up. But tarot intuitively is very different. We are developing a relationship with our cards, and we're doing it in community. And the wine and tarot is really about me, just because I love wine and I love tarot. So that's like a fun part for me. But having that community and being able to answer all your questions while we're shooting the shit and drinking some good wine and talking about tarot, OMG. Even if you don't like wine, I'm sure you're going to have a blast. So throwing that out there, I can't wait to share that with you guys. Really super pumped. And one final thing, if you are struggling and you got a big issue, one single issue, and you're feeling at odds, you're at a loss and you don't know what to do, check out my Phoenix 360. It's basically everything I offer all in one shot. You get channeling, you get a card pull or a card reading, you get a healing, you get a meditation, you get journaling questions. You get the opportunity to ask me deeper questions so that we meet you where you're at. We meet you where you're at. And the people who have done it, it's a new service for me. So I haven't had a lot of people do it, but the people who have done it have just said it's mind blowing. It's a game changer. And you really feel very differently afterwards. So check it out. Phoenix 360. You've got a single issue, a single question, and you want to do a deep dive. The guides, they meet you where you're at. We examine that situation from every angle, and we give you really practical clarity and guidance and support to help you through that. And it sounds like a lot of us need that. So if I can be of service to you in any way, check out my website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com. Just so happy to be here and be of service to you guys. Sending everyone so much love. Thanks for being here. Keone, thank you so much always for producing. You do a great job. You always keep me on my toes. I'm grateful to you.
Thank you, honey bunny.